My mother said we're not coming to your wedding anymore, so I replied, perfect, I'll give your seats to people who actually love me. Share your location in the comments. I love seeing where our family is watching from. I was at my desk reviewing contracts when Mom's name flashed across my phone screen. March 15th, 2:30 in the afternoon. I remember because I just closed the biggest deal of my career at the architecture firm. 28 years old, finally feeling like I'd made something of myself. Hey Mom, what's up? I answered, expecting congratulations. She knew about the promotion. Instead, her voice came through cold, mechanical. Gregory, your father and I have decided we're not attending your wedding. The words hit like a freight train. My fiancée Yanelle and I had been planning this day for 8 months. 200 guests. The venue in downtown Atlanta cost $15,000. What? Mom, the wedding's in 6 weeks. What are you talking about? She sighed like I was being difficult. We don't approve of this marriage. Yanelle isn't right for you, and we've made our position clear. My heart hammered against my ribcage. You've never said anything like this before. Where is this coming from? Gregory, don't be dramatic. We're simply choosing not to participate in a mistake. The casual cruelty in her tone made my stomach turn. This was the woman who raised me, who I called every Sunday without fail. A mistake? We've been together 4 years. That's our final decision. Your sister Shanice agrees with us. She won't be coming either. The line went dead. I sat there staring at my phone, watching my reflection in the black screen. Everything I thought I knew about my family just shattered into 1,000 pieces. That night, I couldn't sleep. Yanelle found me on our apartment balcony at 3 in the morning, staring at the Atlanta skyline. Baby, talk to me, she said, wrapping her arms around my shoulders. The city lights blurred through my tears. I told her everything. She listened quietly, her fingers gently stroking my back. Gregory, I need to ask you something. Has your mom always been like this? I wanted to say no, but memories flooded back. I was 16 when I got accepted to Morehouse College with a full scholarship. Mom cried, but not from joy. You're going to forget about us, she'd said. Those fancy people will change you. When I graduated summa cum laude, she didn't come to the ceremony. Said she had a church commitment she couldn't miss. Dad made excuses for her. He always did. Then there was my younger brother, Deshaun. He'd moved to Los Angeles to pursue music production 5 years ago. Mom stopped speaking to him entirely. Said he was abandoning the family. I realized I'd spent my whole life trying to earn her approval, jumping through hoops that kept moving further away. She controls through guilt, Yanelle said softly. And your dad enables it. My sister too, I added, remembering Shanice. She was 32, still living at home, working at Mom's hair salon. She'd broken up with 3 different men because Mom didn't approve. What are we going to do? Yanelle asked. I looked at her beautiful face, her eyes full of concern and love. In that moment, something inside me shifted. We're getting married, I said firmly. With or without them. Saturday morning, I drove to my parents' house in Decatur. The same brick colonial where I'd grown up, where family photos lined the hallway walls. Mom was in the kitchen, casually sipping coffee like she hadn't just detonated my life. Gregory, I didn't expect you, she said, not looking up from her phone. Dad sat at the table reading the newspaper, silent as always. We need to talk about the wedding. Mom set her cup down with deliberate slowness. There's nothing to discuss. We told you our decision. You told me, but you didn't explain. What exactly is wrong with Yanelle? Shanice walked in then, her expression already defensive. Gregory, why can't you just accept that we know what's best? What's best? She's a pediatric nurse. She volunteers at the Children's Hospital. She treats me with respect and love. What more do you want? Mom stood up, her 5'4" frame somehow seeming larger. She's taking you away from us. Ever since you met her, you've changed. You're not the Gregory we raised. I'm 28 years old. I'm supposed to build my own life. Dad finally spoke, his voice tired. Son, just postpone the wedding. Give it some time. Let things cool down. Things cool down? Dad, the wedding is in 6 weeks. Mom's face hardened. Then I guess you've made your choice. Choose her over family. The audacity of it stunned me into silence. She was the one refusing to come, yet somehow I was choosing. I left my parents' house feeling hollow. My phone buzzed as I reached my car. Unknown number. Hello. Gregory? It's Aunt Lorraine. My mother's older sister. We hadn't spoken in years. Mom had some falling out with her that nobody ever explained to me. Aunt Lorraine? How did you get my number? Doesn't matter. I heard about the wedding situation. Your cousin Tanya told me. Baby, I need to tell you some things about your mama that you deserve to know. We met at a Waffle House off I-285. Aunt Lorraine was 62, with silver locks and kind eyes that reminded me of my grandmother. She ordered coffee and got straight to it. Your mother has done this before. To me, to your Uncle Kenneth, to anyone who tried to live their own life. What do you mean? She pulled out her phone, showed me old photos. I was engaged 25 years ago to a wonderful man named David. Your mama told the whole family he was using me, that he was after money we didn't even have. She organized a boycott of my wedding. Your grandmother, your uncles, everyone refused to come. What happened? I married him anyway. Best decision of my life. We've been together 24 years now. But your mama cut me off completely. Told everyone I chose a stranger over family. The parallel was chilling. She's doing the exact same thing to you, Aunt Lorraine continued. And she did it to Kenneth when he moved to Houston for work. She can't stand when people don't need her anymore. 2 days later, Shanice showed up at my apartment. Yanel let her in, then discreetly left us alone. My sister looked exhausted, dark circles under her eyes. I'm sorry, she said immediately. Gregory, I'm so sorry. Why are you here, Shanice? She collapsed onto my couch, tears streaming down her face. Because I'm tired of lying. Because I'm tired of pretending. Because watching what Mom's doing to you finally woke me up. What are you talking about? The story came pouring out. Shanice had been engaged 3 years ago to a man named Trevor. A teacher, gentle and kind. Mom had systematically destroyed that relationship with lies and manipulation. Told Trevor that Shanice didn't really love him. Told Shanice that Trevor was cheating. Neither was true. I found out after he left. Mom admitted it. Said she did it for my own good. Said I was too young to know what I wanted. You were 29. Exactly. And I was so broken, so conditioned to believe her, that I stayed. I'm 32 years old, Gregory, living at home, working at her salon, watching my life disappear. When I see you fighting back, it terrifies me and inspires me at the same time. Then come to my wedding. Stand with me. She shook her head, fresh tears falling. I can't. Not yet. But I needed you to know the truth. Yanel is wonderful. Mom hates her because she makes you happy, because she can't control her. That's all this is. Control. Will you testify to that? If I need you to. Shani stood up, hugged me tight. Ask me in a month. I'm working on getting out. I got an apartment lined up in Buckhead. By your wedding, I'll be free. The next morning, I got a call from the wedding venue. Mr. Washington, we've had someone contact us claiming to be your mother. She attempted to cancel your reservation. My blood ran cold. What did you tell her? We informed her that only you or your fiancé could make changes to the booking. But sir, she was quite insistent. She claimed there was a family emergency. Yanel walked into the room, saw my face. What's wrong? I put the phone on speaker. The venue coordinator continued. She also called your caterer, your DJ, and your photographer. They all contacted us to verify. Sir, She's actively trying to sabotage your wedding." I thanked her and hung up. Yanel's hands were shaking. "Gregory, this is insane. This is beyond just not attending. She's trying to destroy our day." I called each vendor personally, set up passwords so no changes could be made without them. The photographer, a woman named Keisha, was particularly understanding. "Honey, I've been in this business 15 years. I've seen family drama, but this is something else. Your mama needs help." That afternoon, my phone exploded with texts from extended family. Cousins I hadn't heard from in years, aunts and uncles, all with the same message: "We heard about the wedding issues. We're praying for you." My mother had called everyone, spinning her version of events. According to her narrative, Yanel had forbidden me from seeing my family. I was being manipulated. I turned my back on the people who raised me. "We need to get ahead of this," Yanel said. "We need to tell our side." I nodded, pulling out my laptop. Time to stop being defensive. I posted on social media that evening. Nothing dramatic, just the truth. For those who've heard rumors about my upcoming wedding, my fiancée Yanel has never kept me from family. My mother chose not to attend and has been actively trying to sabotage our day. I'm heartbroken but moving forward with people who genuinely love and support us. The response was immediate and overwhelming. Friends commented with support. Colleagues from work reached out. But most surprising was my extended family. "Cousin Tanya, your mama did the same thing when my brother married his wife. We see through it, Gregory. Uncle Jerome, she pulled this with your Aunt Lorraine. Proud of you for standing up." Even people from my childhood neighborhood chimed in. Mrs. Patterson, who used to babysit me: "Baby, I love your mama, but she's been controlling since high school. Live your life." My phone rang. Dad. His voice was shaking with rage. "Gregory, how dare you air our family business publicly? Your mother is humiliated." "Dad, she called every vendor trying to cancel my wedding. She told the entire family lies about Yanel. What did you expect me to do?" "She's your mother. You show respect." Respect goes both ways. Where was her respect for me? For my choices? For my fiancé? He went silent. I heard Mom's voice in the background, shrill and angry. "You've crossed a line, Gregory. Don't expect us to ever forgive this." "I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm asking you to act like parents. But you know what? I'm done asking." I hung up, hands trembling. Yanel held me while I cried. "You did the right thing," she whispered. The truth needed to come out. Deshaun flew in from Los Angeles unannounced. I opened my apartment door to find my younger brother standing there with a duffel bag and a grim expression. "Heard you were fighting World War III with Mom," he said. "Figured you could use reinforcements." We hugged tight. I hadn't seen him in 2 years. Mom's silent treatment had extended to me visiting him, creating guilt whenever I mentioned flying to LA. "Man, you look good," I said. He'd grown a beard, looked confident and healthy. "Therapy and 3,000 miles of distance will do that." He dropped his bag, and we sat down with beers. "Gregory, I need to tell you why I really left Atlanta." The story came out in painful detail. Deshaun had struggled with anxiety and depression in his early 20s. When he finally sought help, Mom was furious. She said therapy was for weak people, that I was embarrassing the family. She told people I was having a breakdown, made it sound way worse than it was. I had no idea. Because she controlled the narrative, bro. Just like she's doing now. When I got the job offer in LA, she begged me not to go. Literally begged. Said Dad would die of heartbreak if I left. But Dad's fine. Exactly. It was manipulation. When I left anyway, she cut me off completely. Told everyone I abandoned the family. You know how many Christmases I've spent alone because I was too guilty to make new friends out there. I felt rage building in my chest. Why didn't you tell me? Because you were still under her spell. I tried once, remember? 3 years ago, I called you and said Mom was toxic. You defended her. I did remember. I told Deshaun he was being dramatic, that Mom just worried about us. God, I was so blind. I'm sorry, Dee. I should have listened. He squeezed my shoulder. You're listening now. That's what matters. The next day, Aunt Lorraine called again. Gregory, you need to come to my house. There's someone here you need to meet. I drove to her home in Stone Mountain, Deshaun riding shotgun. Aunt Lorraine answered the door with a woman I'd never seen before, maybe 70 years old, with snow-white hair and sharp, intelligent eyes. Gregory, Deshaun, this is Mrs. Eleanor Hayes. She was your grandmother's best friend. We sat in Lorraine's living room as Mrs. Hayes told us a story that shattered everything. Your grandmother, God rest her soul, kept journals. Before she passed 5 years ago, she gave them to me. Said if things ever got bad with your mother, I should share the truth. She pulled out 3 leather-bound journals. Your mother wasn't always like this. When she was young, she was kind, gentle. But when she was 22, she was engaged to a man named Michael Green. He died 2 weeks before their wedding. Drunk driver. I exchanged glances with Deshaun. We'd never heard this. The grief destroyed something in her. She became obsessed with control, with keeping people close. Your father was her rebound, married him within a year. Your grandmother was worried but thought love would heal her. Mrs. Hayes opened one journal, read aloud, Diana is scaring me. She's keeping James on such a tight leash. He can't visit friends without permission. She monitors his phone calls. I tried to talk to her, but she exploded. Said after losing Michael, she won't lose anyone else again. This was written 35 years ago, Mrs. Hayes said. Your mother has been like this your entire lives. It's not about you boys or your sister. It's about her unhealed trauma. Armed with this new understanding, I decided to try one more time. I called a family meeting at a neutral location, a conference room I rented at a local community center. Mom, Dad, and Shani showed up, all looking defensive. Deshaun sat beside me, and Aunt Lorraine came as a witness. Thank you for coming, I started. I want to lay everything out clearly. Mom crossed her arms. This better not be another ambush. It's not. It's the truth. Mom, I know about Michael Green. Her face went pale. Dad looked shocked. How do you? Grandma's journals. Mrs. Hayes has them. I know you've been carrying trauma for 30 years, and I'm sorry for your loss. But your pain doesn't give you the right to control our lives. Tears welled in her eyes, but her jaw stayed set. You don't understand. I understand you're terrified of losing people. But trying to control us is exactly what pushes us away. Deshaun's been gone 5 years. Aunt Lorraine hasn't spoken to you in decades. Is that what you want with me? I just want my family together. Then accept that we're adults with our own lives. Come to my wedding. Meet Yanel's parents. Be happy that I found love. Dad spoke up, his voice cracking. Son, your mother and I talked last night. We've decided that if you move forward with this wedding without our blessing, we can't have a relationship with you anymore. The ultimatum hung in the air like poison. Shanice gasped. Even Aunt Lorraine looked stunned. You're making me choose between my future wife and my family. You already made your choice, Mom said coldly. I stood up, my decision crystal clear. Then I choose love. I choose happiness. I choose freedom from manipulation. I walked out, Deshaun right behind me. The wedding was 3 weeks away. Yanel and I sat down with our guest list, staring at the 3 empty seats reserved for my mother, father, and sister. Who do we invite instead? Yanel asked gently. An idea sparked. Everyone they tried to keep me from. I called Aunt Lorraine first. She cried and immediately said yes. Then Deshaun obviously would stand as my best man, replacing the groomsman spot I'd saved for my father. Then I reached out to my childhood mentor, Mr. James Carlisle, my high school architecture teacher who'd inspired my career. Mom had hated him, said he was putting unrealistic dreams in my head. He was honored to attend. I contacted my college roommate, Tel, who Mom had called a bad influence because he introduced me to step dancing and Black Greek life. For Mom's seat, I invited Mrs. Patterson, my old babysitter, who'd watched me grow up and celebrated every achievement my mother had minimized. And for Shanice's seat? I left it open with a note at the place setting, reserved for Shanice Washington, whenever you're ready to claim your freedom. The new guest list felt like vindication. These were people who'd genuinely supported me, who'd believed in me, who'd loved me without conditions. Your mother's going to lose her mind when she finds out, Yanel said. I smiled for the first time in weeks. Good. Maybe it'll wake her up. And if it doesn't, then these are the people who deserve to celebrate with us. That night, I sent a group text to the family members still speaking to me. Wedding is on schedule. Looking forward to celebrating with people who actually love me. Mom's response came 2 minutes later. You'll regret this. I blocked her number. May 4th arrived with perfect weather. 78 degrees, clear blue sky, light breeze. Our venue, a historic garden estate in Roswell, looked like something from a fairy tale. White flowers everywhere, string lights waiting to illuminate the evening reception. I stood in the groom's suite with Deshawn and Tell, adjusting my ivory tuxedo jacket. You good, bro? Deshawn asked. Never better. But I was lying. Part of me kept hoping my phone would ring, hoping Mom would apologize, hoping for a last-minute reconciliation. It didn't come. The ceremony started at 4. I took my place at the altar, watching guests file in. Aunt Lorraine dabbed her eyes. Mr. Carlyle gave me a thumbs up. Mrs. Patterson beamed from the 3rd row. Then I saw her. Shanice, slipping into the back row, wearing a beautiful navy dress. She caught my eye and mouthed, I'm out. My heart soared. The music changed. Yanel appeared at the end of the aisle on her father's arm, absolutely radiant in her gown. But before she could start walking, there was commotion at the entrance. My mother, father, and about 15 family members stormed in. Stop this wedding! Mom shouted. The music cut off. 200 guests turned to stare. Security moved toward them, but I held up my hand. Let them speak, I said calmly. Mom marched down the aisle, Dad trailing behind her, looking miserable. Gregory, you cannot do this. I'm your mother. You cannot get married without my blessing. I looked at her, really looked at her, and saw not a monster but a deeply broken woman who'd let pain poison her love. Mom, you're right. You're my mother. And I love you. But I'm marrying Yanel today, with or without your blessing. Mom's face contorted with rage and desperation. Then you're choosing her over me. After everything I've done for you. No, Mom. You're choosing control over love. You're choosing fear over happiness. You're choosing to miss one of the most important days of my life because you can't accept that I'm my own person. The guests watched in stunned silence. Yanel stood frozen halfway down the aisle. If you walk away now, Mom threatened, voice shaking, don't ever come back. You'll be dead to me. The words should have devastated me. Instead, I felt nothing but clarity. Then I guess I'll see you in another life. Yanel's father, would you please continue? Mr. Thompson, bless him, started walking his daughter toward me again. Mom screamed, Gregory Anthony Washington, don't you dare. Security, please escort my mother and father out. They're trespassing at a private event. As security gently but firmly guided them toward the exit, Mom yelled, You'll regret this. You'll come crawling back. I took Yanel's hands at the altar. The only thing I regret is not doing this sooner. The ceremony continued. We said our vows with tears streaming down both our faces. When the officiant said, You may kiss your bride, the entire venue erupted in applause. At the reception, Shanice found me during dinner. I got my own apartment. Signed the lease yesterday. I start my new job at a salon in Midtown next week. I'm so proud of you, sis. You showed me it was possible. You stood up and survived. If you can do it, so can I. As Yanel and I had our first dance, I looked around at the faces surrounding us. Real love. Real support. Real family. Not the family I was born into, but the family I'd chosen. My phone buzzed in my pocket during the cake cutting. A text from an unknown number. Mom, from a different phone since I'd blocked her. You've made the biggest mistake of your life. I showed it to Yanel. She smiled, kissed my cheek, and whispered, reply. I typed, no, Mom. I finally made the right choice. I chose love. I chose respect. I chose people who actually love me. I hope one day you find the help you need to heal. Until then, these seats will always be filled with people who deserve them. I hit send, then blocked that number too. Yanel raised her champagne glass. To new beginnings. To freedom, I added. We toasted as the sun set over Atlanta, beginning our marriage surrounded by genuine love. My mother's empty seat at table 3 served as a reminder, not of what I'd lost, but of what I'd gained, the courage to choose my own happiness. The wedding was perfect. My life was perfect. And for the first time in 28 years, I was finally, completely free. Before you go, let me ask you something. If you believe family should lift you up, not tear you down, hit that subscribe button. Only manipulators and control freaks would disagree with that. Drop a comment saying I choose love over control if you think Gregory made the right choice. And smash that like button if you can't stand people like his mother who use guilt and fear to control their children. Real family celebrates your happiness. Period. Don't let toxic people convince you otherwise.